Before the sport of MMA had even been invented, in the 1970s, one man was taking on specialists around the world and beating them all. In his 30-year career, he won 200 fights, 6 world titles in 5 weight classes, and he never lost, even winning America's first ever no-rules MMA tournament.
Baby, it's time. Thrust kick. Oh, look at that right.
Becoming a martial arts legend, he trained the likes of Patrick Swayze for Roadhouse, locking up with Jackie Chan in one of the greatest fight scenes of all time. Keanu Reeves himself is currently making a documentary about this man's life. But what was it about his style that made him unbeatable and led him to win the first ever MMA tournament in modern history? This isn't just a story about the founder of American Kickboxing, but the story about how one man figured out mixed martial arts before the sport even existed. This is a look at the skills and mastery of Benny the Jet Urquidez.
And his record represents the best in the sport with a tremendous 57 wins, no losses. 49 wins coming by way of knockout.
Born in 1952 and raised in a household that lived and breathed martial arts, his father, Ben Urquidez Sr., was a Spanish-American boxer who taught Benny boxing, wrestling, judo, and Kempo karate from a very early age.
I have 9 black belts in my family. My mother was a professional wrestler, my father a professional boxer. How they got together, I don't know, but there's 4 champions in my family, so at the age of 3, when kids had fire trucks, I had boxing gloves.
Later in life, Benny would pretty much pick a black belt up in every single one of these that he could. Unlike many other martial artists at the time, and having such a diverse background, this shaped him not into a point fighting stylist, but into a fighter trained for continuous full contact rounds with a broad range of traditional martial arts foundations. But ultimately, according to an interview with Bloody Elbow, at the age of 12, Benny attended the 1964 Long Beach International Karate Championships, a legendary event for early martial arts pioneers. And it was there he witnessed Bruce Lee perform his legendary 1-inch punch firsthand. Benny had seen the light, and moving into his professional career, he wasn't training for tournaments, he was training for real fights. As the 1970s came along, full contact karate emerged as a sport across the US, and it was a natural progression and way for Benny to test himself where his multifaceted style ran through the competition. The first thing you'll notice about Urquidez is, much like Bruce Lee, he moves like water, often opting to bring his feet close together, helping him maintain a bladed stance and disguising his lead leg attacks. He keeps his hands low, relying on his footwork for his defense primarily, with his hands often at the hips but also disguising a lot of his offense. Using a fake, Benny draws a reaction from his opponent, before leading with a southpaw roundhouse and a same side straight to the chin in a combination immediately overwhelming his opponent. And these are tactics we see strikers use to this day. Benny could also fight from either stance, here in orthodox, lowering his center of gravity and again using his fakes before leaping in with a side kick to the face. But it was Benny's footwork and speed that were his greatest asset, especially against taller opponents who he'd fight regardless of weight class, adopting a karate bounce and able to switch stances with ease, again very much in line with the philosophy of Bruce Lee himself. He would level change while keeping a bladed stance, leaving him free to read and just slide out of range of incoming attacks. But when he closed the distance, his experience in boxing allowed him to completely overwhelm the karate practitioners on the inside with tight and rapid combinations. Something he became famous for, though, was his display of acrobatics, able to launch himself in the air and land with near perfect technique, flying high, not unlike a jet. His multiple world titles and achievements in karate and undefeated record got him an invitation to one of the earliest mixed martial arts events of all time, an event that most MMA fans never even know existed. It was called the World Series of Martial Arts Championship. It was advertised as full contact karate but with no rules, knockouts were allowed, and it brought together karate, taekwondo, but also Muay Thai, Kempo, and yes, wrestling, takedowns, and even victory by submission. It all went down May 16th, 1974 at the LA Sports Arena, where 6,000 spectators turned up to watch the 2-day battle for $10,000 take place. At that point, the biggest prize ever in karate history. The bouts were 3-minute rounds with judges, points for knockdowns and takedowns, but more importantly, there were no weight classes. Everyone fought everyone, and Benny was one of the smallest competitors taking part. In the first 2 rounds, Benny annihilated his opponents, including Bill Rosehill, who was undefeated in full contact competition, before in the final, at just 148 pounds, Benny faced off with Dana Goodson, with a 72-pound advantage, standing 6'1". But how he beat him says everything about the mixed martial artist that Benny really was. Benny began slowly, using his fakes to find openings around the bigger frame of Dana. His first attack, his jump spinning back kick to the head, landed around the outstretched right straight, completely catching Dana off guard and showing him immediately that size was not going to be a factor in this fight. Another fake drew out the right straight again, and Benny rolled underneath it, closing to the inside and comboing inside the reach of Dana before sliding back out of range. Here, Benny switches stance to cover his straight left, which he uses to close the distance before chaining into a liver kick, all before flurrying in the pocket to the amazement of the crowd to drop the 200-pound Goodson. And as he gets up, Benny lands another hard left overhand over the top, sending him crashing down once more. Absolutely fearless, Benny sends the left high kick before rolling through into another massive left hook that sent Goodson reeling while he continued to flurry on the inside. But when he needed to, Benny's constant movement and the speed of his footwork kept him on the outside where Goodson just couldn't touch him. As Dana pushed forward instead, he avoids the kick of Benny, who, instead of retreating as the right hand comes, secures double underhooks in a Greco-Roman position, using them to elevate, change the angle, and dump the 200-pound man on the canvas. Benny was literally doing mixed martial arts. The Jet, with his hands down, was then dancing in front of Dana, and there was nothing he could do to stop him. He pauses in front of Goodson before again using his left straight to blitz to the inside and landing furious boxing combinations in close. By round 3, Benny had really found his timing. As Goodson came forward, Benny lands his left hook before exiting on the open side to retake the center. And when Dana tried to crowd the smaller man, Benny was once again able to lock up the clinch, secure his double underhooks and rotate across the body, dragging Goodson to the mat, where he even pinned him in side control for 5 seconds for extra points. The rest of this fight played out with Benny able to evade on the outside and overwhelm Dana in the clinch, and it showed that he was truly years ahead of his time, blending several martial arts together to win the entire tournament and take home the biggest prize in traditional martial arts competition at the time. It truly is one of the greatest early achievements in MMA history, if you ask me. After that, Benny started touring the world to challenge competitors in the growing combat sports scene, especially over in Japan, where karate and boxing had come together to create a new sport entirely, kickboxing. And the Jet absolutely shocked everyone when he agreed to take on the All Japan champion, Katsuyuki Suzuki. This time they both weighed the same, 142 pounds, and it was 8 rounds for the WKA super lightweight title. With a high tie guard style, Suzuki comes forward in southpaw, sending out the left roundhouse. Benny steps back and then closes the space, landing the jab to the body and a sniper straight right on the chin. As Suzuki continued to come forward, this time targeting the leg, Benny slides back out of range, pulling the leg kick, landing his own straight to the body this time before again finishing up high with a beautiful left hook. Every time the Japanese fighter would send a kick, Benny would slide out of range and mix up the targets to the head and body, making his combinations extremely effective and hard to read.
In the United States would jump on, but over here the referee is here to just see the fight keeps going.
Left, right. He's got him hurt already, Howard.
He's introducing
He's
him
got
to
him.
some
Yes,
boxing
indeed.
techniques very quickly.
Fantastic.
Benny's early years incorporating boxing was definitely key in again allowing him to attack on the inside, where a lot of fighters from other martial arts backgrounds did not feel comfortable. Here, Benny cleverly fakes his right hand before stepping to his left to once again land a clean left hook around the guard. The kicks of Suzuki just couldn't keep Benny at bay, and when he had him in the corner, he was sending him to the canvas time and time again with his powerful and relentless hands. And Benny knew exactly how to counter the low kicks as well. As the kick comes across, Benny once again pulls the right leg back ever so slightly, at the same time loading his back left hook to crash into Suzuki and end the fight by KO in the 6th round. That is a devastating knockout right there.
Again.
Benny right on.
Back in again.
He knows he's got him on Dream Street. Look at that left.
Oh, he's not going to get up from that.
Not only was the Jet as fast as lightning, able to switch between different martial arts, but he also had thunderous power in his hands. In Japan, he became a massive star. They made comic books about him, action figures, as he continued to beat masters of all styles under the kickboxing rule set. He'd follow up that win taking on another Japanese star in Kunimitsu Okao, where he showed all kinds of weapons in his arsenal. Benny was blending the arts together brilliantly, using the double jab here to stop the low leg kick attacks, pushing Okao back, and when he re-entered the space, nailed him with a beautiful turning side kick. He used this jab constantly in this fight to keep his opponent guessing and swell up his right eye badly. As Okao began to slow, he started digging to the body. Okao frames with a lead front kick and Benny counters, drops his level perfectly here and nails him with a left hook to the liver. Then Benny uses the front kick to create space and chambers it almost into a Superman jab right down the pipe. Both standing toe-to-toe, both men miss, but Benny loads his left hook afterwards that smashes Okao, and then he unloads some ruthless and beautiful combinations, where again on the inside he showed his boxing skills were incredibly effective. In fact, Benny simply does not stop attacking, throwing until Okao completely wilted under his assault.
Look at those combinations. Sugar Ray Leonard's trying to come back. Sugar Ray Leonard with speed. Look at him go. Beautiful.
Okao wants to hang on. Urquidez says no.
He says it's time, baby. It's time. Thrust kick. Oh, look at that right. Eyes rolled back in his head.
After competing and winning world titles in the Professional Karate Association before this, it had gotten to the point where his bouts were being broadcast on American television. And he, along with his brother, helped with the sanctioning bodies to start up the WKA, the World Kickboxing Association, with his star power doing more to promote the sport than perhaps anyone else. He eventually helped change the rules, adding low kicks for international bouts, and it all had come out of full contact karate into what was a brand new sport. Without his prowess, his star power, his knockout style, or this worldwide dominance, the sport might never have taken off in the US the way that it did. And of course, his coaching legacy and creation of his own style has left a mark on combat sports to this day. When you talk about early stars of martial arts, you have to know the story of Benny the Jet. And truly, he was one of the first to start piecing together what worked from different styles to truly turn himself into an unstoppable fighter.